I'm already getting a bite. I think he's bigger.
We're on? We're on.
Here we go.
Wow.
Look at the size of this yellowtail. We fish all the time, but it's a really good bite.
You do realize this counts.
I'm on.
Whoa.
Look at that.
I feel like that was really cool. Okay. This video is brought to you by FWC's Catch a Florida Memory Program. Welcome to today's video. We are doing something super cool. You guys remember the small fry slam, which was a pinfish, a catfish, and a grunt, and we succeeded and we did it. So if anyone wants to go do that, we'll put links in the description box for how to go catch a small fry slam. But today we're going to be doing what's called a family slam. Now, a family slam is any 3 fish in the same family. So for example, a snapper family slam would be any 3 snappers. So yellowtails, lanes, muttons, mangroves, schoolmasters. That's what we're gonna go for. We're starting with the mangroves. We're gonna try and get mangroves first, and then we're gonna work our way towards other snappers. My name is Emily, a man's behind the camera. This is Kona, and welcome to our channel, Gale Force Twins.
We're already out here targeting our mangrove snapper. We are in the back in the Gulf. Hopefully we can catch one. We might catch him on the reef as well, but we wanted to start back here and work. I already got a bite. That was so fast. I want to tell you guys about this FWC Grand Slam and how you guys can do it, but I just got a bite. I'm just gonna give my fish a minute to run with it. Do you think, Emily, there's a chance that we already got one? What'd you say?
Real.
Oh. Oh, we're on.
We're on.
We're on.
Oh, I think it is.
Oh, wait a minute. It's a lane snapper.
It's a lane snapper.
You do realize this counts.
Yes.
This lane snapper, first of 3 species needed for our FWC Family Grand Slam, already caught the lane snapper. It doesn't matter how big he is. This counts. So Emily, let's grab a picture and release him because he's obviously undersized. We're gonna be practicing good catch and release technique. A great one is not to touch the fish at all if you're able to. So we're gonna go ahead and use a de-hooker on this little lane snapper. The de-hooker is gonna come in and grab the hook. The hooker goes to the sky, line goes down to the ocean, and we just give it normally a little shake. And he swims away untouched. Okay, now I need to tell you, I need to take a minute from the fishing, tell you about this Grand Slam. Today, we are participating in FWC's Catch a Florida Memory Program. There are a ton of different Grand Slams you can choose from. You guys already saw us go for the Small Fry Slam. Today, we're going for the Family Grand Slam. And what happens, guys, if you succeed, you need to catch, so today I have a 24-hour window to catch 3 different species of snapper, because that's the family we're choosing, and we've already done one of them. And if we win, we submit our photos to FWC, and then we get a certificate in the mail, we get a t-shirt, our name gets to go in like a little record book. So it's just a fun thing to do. It kind of gives you a goal for the day instead of just going out and fishing. And what makes it fun is that the fish don't have to be keeper sized, they don't have to be in season, so I can catch an undersized lane snapper and it still counts towards my Grand Slam. So that's what we're doing today. We hopefully can do it. We're obviously off to a good start, so let's keep fishing. We weren't exactly expecting to catch lanes back here today, but hey, we're happy with it. We're actually looking for the mangroves. Either way, it counts. So you may notice on the Small Fry Slam, Emily was the angler all day, because with these Grand Slams, it's angler specific, not boat specific. So since I caught the first fish, the first snapper, I'll be the angler for the rest of the day. And that's just something to keep in mind when you're out here having a good time and fishing. So what you can do is even get competitive and see who can get their slam first. 3, 2, 1, reel. Oh, we're on! We're on! Is it gonna be another lane? It's a yellowtail! What? Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, I promise you, we had absolutely no intentions of catching these little guys, but wow, we got a yellowtail snapper, 2 for 3 on our small fry slam not small fry, I mean these are small fries, but 2 for 3 on our family slam in under 10 minutes. Once again, we are going to use a dehooker to release this fish. Now, especially when you have an undersized snapper, some guy this size has a whole life ahead of him. So we don't want to keep him out of water too long. Let's not rub his slime coat off. Let's use our dehooker, per usual. Give him a little shake. And he swims away untouched. Now guys, something else that I did want to say. Now I do want to say that undersized fish and snappers can count towards your grand slams as long as you get that photo and release them properly. I have been using shrimp all morning, but I'm going to switch over to squid. I want to use a nice big bait today because I really would like to catch a nice sized mangrove. They're just not showing up. I guess they missed the invitation. I don't know where they went. That's okay. Something I do want to remind everybody about is to please get your fishing licenses before you go fishing. It's super important and it's really easy. You can get them at gooutdoorsflorida.com. Get your fishing license. Everybody's happy. Everybody can fish. You have nothing to worry about. I'm already getting a bite, but that was a really big bait, and considering the size of the fish we caught, I'm going to give him a minute to swallow the bait. But I do want to give everybody, oh, okay, maybe it's time to reel. Reel! Oh, more size for this guy.
Think he's bigger?
Bigger bait, bigger fish. I think he's bigger. How big is he though? How big? Bigger. Oh my goodness, I don't know what on earth.
Wow.
Look at the size of this yellowtail.
That's a nice yellowtail.
This is a keeper yellowtail on the flats. I mean, what on earth? What a beautiful catch. Now, another quick catch and release technique is, since today we are going to be catching and releasing everything, probably even if they are keepers, is if you do want to hold them with your hands for a nice photo, make sure your hands are wet, support their body horizontally. I don't have my hands in the gills, I don't have my hands in the eyes, in the mouth, I just have it under the belly. And we're going to go ahead and release this fish head first into the water so it gets a nice gulp of fresh air. Ready? There he goes. In case you guys are wondering what today's rig is I am using a knocker rig, which means I believe this is a 1 ounce sinker. I have a bead so my sinker doesn't slide over the hook, and a 1/0 circle hook. We're obviously using circle hooks today because you're in the Gulf. Now if I were on the reef, maybe I would use a weighted jig, but if you're in the Gulf, you have to use a circle hook. It's gonna definitely allow the fish to get hooked properly. It won't gut hook the fish, and it can be released to live another day. Now earlier today I was using shrimp when I caught that really small lane and that really small yellowtail, and it was working, but I wanted something bigger, so I used squid, and you saw the size of my next yellowtail, so I'll show you how I hook my squid. I just like to take my whole piece of squid and I hook him in the top of the head 1 time through, like so. Can we see that, Emily? And I'm just gonna send him down to the bottom and wait for that bite. Now what the technique for today has been is I drop it down to the bottom, we're anchored up, we're chumming on we're like on the edge, I would say, of a flat, in between a flat and a channel is where we are. And I'm just gonna wait for the bite. When I feel that tap, 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 you can see I have the bail open, which I think I did just feel a tap, tap, tap. It was very little though. I can basically let my fish run with the bait. So I'm gonna let him swallow it. And because that's such a big bait and the size of the fish that we have been catching have been a little small, I'm gonna wait maybe 10 whole seconds to close the bail and reel and see if that fish is there. If I were on the reef and I was catching big fish, I could probably go away with waiting 3 seconds because I know it'll swallow that bait fast. Here we go, 9, 10, close the bail, see if he's there. Oh, he's on, Emily, he's on. And it's another lane, but he's bigger. So that's something you can see how much bigger the lane got once the bait got bigger. I waited a whole 10 seconds before I closed the bail and started reeling. Another bite already, okay. I think I felt that. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if he's there. Might have been a piece of bait, something nibbling. Let's just close it and find out.
False alarm?
False alarm, my bait got stolen. Let's rebait that. Come on.
I'm on. Run.
Whoa.
Oh,
There's
boy,
size to it. What is it? What is it?
Wait,
it's a grouper. It's a grouper. At first I thought it was my mangrove because of the color, but hey, it's a red grouper. Look at that. Pretty fish.
Earlier, Amanda said that she was fishing with a 4/0 circle hook, and in our small fry slam video, since we were targeting such small fish, we were fishing with size 4 circle hooks. So I feel like this is a really great time to explain to you guys the difference between a size 4 and a 4.0 and a 1.0 and a 7.0 and a size 1 and a size 2 and all those kinds of hooks. So obviously, or maybe not obviously, I should not say obviously. So there are different categories of hooks. There's circle hooks, J hooks, and for the sake of this conversation, we have all circle hooks. Circle hook is the shape of the hook. The J hook is the shape of the hook. And then the size is the size of the hook. So there's a 7.0 circle hook and a 7.0 J hook, and they're both gonna be similar in size, just different shape. Let's take a look down here. I set it up for you nicely. Okay, so you can see the packaging. If we look in the top corners, this is size 4. And look at how itty bitty this size 4 circle hook is. And then if we go to a size 2 circle hook, you see that this is an inline octopus circle hook, so it's shaped a little differently, but this is a size 2, which is bigger than the size 4. Moving up into the larger side of things, we get into the 1.0s. So we have a 1.0 circle hook, which is right here. This is also an inline octopus circle hook. And then even bigger than a 1.0 would be a 4.0, and this is a 4.0 circle hook. I believe this is an offset circle hook. So there's a couple different changes within the shapes of them, but basically the way it works, think of a number scale. Think of 0 being in the middle, and then we go 1, 2, 3, and then on the other side of 0, we have -1, -2. So think of 0 and then the size 1, size 2, size 3, size 4. Think of those as -1, -2, -3, -4. So they go down the bigger the number gets. And then if we go in the 1.0s, think of those as positives. So we have 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Think of that as +1, +2, +3, +4. I hope that made sense for you guys. So next time you're in the tackle shop and you see size 4 and 4.0, size 4 would be, think of it like a -4, and 4.0, think of it like +4. And then circle hook and J hook, that's just the shape of it. We're on! We're on! We're off. We're off. Hold on, guys. The bite is absolutely insane today, for the record. Like, one of the best, like, bites we've had in maybe a couple weeks, a couple days. We fish all the time, but it's a really good bite. 3, 2, 1, close the bail, reel. What do we have? We have nothing. Nothing. False alarm. False alarm. Back down. Back down. Back down we go. This is my last attempt at a catch before I say we switch locations. Here we go. Yeah. Nothing. All right, just as I was talking about how the bite was amazing, the bite shut off. So it sounds like I jinxed myself, but that is okay. So we've caught our lane snapper, we've caught our yellowtail snapper. I literally need one more snapper, one more species of snapper, and we have a spot that has guaranteed mangrove snappers. They might not be monsters, they might not be huge, but we know they're there. So Emily, I think we should make a move, go check out this spot, try to catch one of these mangrove snappers. Before we go, let's talk about if you want to target mangroves and yellowtails and lanes and you want to attempt this yourself, we're going to tell you what we're doing. So first and foremost, we came to a channel back in the Gulf, and we're not out in the Gulf of Mexico, we're still in the channels, and we're fishing basically the edge of a channel. And we came here in hopes of getting the mangrove. We weren't really intending on getting the yellowtails and the lanes, but what's cool about fishing, guys, is that, especially actually out back, is that you can get a mix of fish. So if I wanted to target a mangrove, I would fish mangrove trees, I'd fish channels out back, structure. That's what I would do for mangroves. Now for the yellowtails, we were prepared to have to run out to the reef for the yellowtails. Doesn't look like we're gonna have to today, but if we wanted to target our limited yellowtails for a big family fish fry, I'd run out to the reef. I'd run out probably, depending on where you are, I'd say like at minimum 3 miles out to the patch reefs, and then if you want to get to the deep reef, that's like 4 or 5 miles out. That's where I'd target my yellowtails. And then my lanes and my schoolmasters, those are going to be on the shallow reef, and then they're also going to be mixed in with the mangroves out in the channels in the back area. So we were planning on going to the reef, but we already got the yellowtail, and we already got the lane, and the mangrove, the one that we came here for, is not here. So we're going to make a move, and we're going to go to literally a mangrove tree, like a mangrove tree that fell underwater during Hurricane Irma. Go ahead. tree that we found, and hopefully there's some mangroves on it. How cool is that?
Here we go. Casting my bait to the tree. Probably get a bite pretty quick is what I'm thinking. If they're here today. If they're not here today, we have another tree and a couple other spots we can try. There's parrotfish. I think there's porkfish. But are the mangroves here?
Unfortunately, no mangroves on the mangrove tree. There's plenty of other fish. We saw needlefish, you said you saw porkfish, Amanda?
Saw parrotfish?
Parrotfish, but no mangroves. So we're on to plan C for the mangrove. I haven't really figured out what that plan is yet. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna let you know.
Okay, so there's a tree, just literally to say, you're perfect.
All right, should I slow my drift?
You might want to stop the boat, but I don't think you need to slow your drift. All right, just stay there. Oh, I got a bite.
Got a bite?
Yeah,
got a bite.
I'm worried that I'm tangled up in this tree though.
All right, back up, right?
No, you're good. Don't do anything.
Right. We're on?
I'm on.
We're on.
Here?
It's a mangy! We got it! Sorry, come on. Yes! Okay, hold on. Hold on. We caught our mangrove snapper.
Now what we did was the last tree, I think because it's still exposed, people know where it is, so they go and fish it. But this tree is under the water. We found it after Hurricane Irma. When it was above the water, we marked it, and since then it's sunken into the sand. It's hiding basically. You don't want to run over it though, because you might run over it. Anyways, we knew there were mangroves on here, and Emily, I just got my snapper slam. My family grant, my FWC, Catch a Florida Memory, Family Grand Slam. With the last catch of the day, mangrove snapper. Let's grab a photo, get the hooker, and release this fish. All right, I got my baity hooker because it was a little guy and it was a little hook and it was deep in his mouth. There he goes. Emily, I have my family grand slam. I'm gonna go ahead and stick a GoPro under the water right now. I want you guys to take a look at what this tree looks like, because this tree is buried underwater. People can't see it, but it's there, and you can really get a feel for the structure, for what it looks like, and where the mangroves like to live. They like places like this, trees underwater in grassy area. They like the reef. Mangrove snapper can be found almost anywhere. I'm surprised we didn't find them out back in that channel that they always are, but sometimes that happens. So I just wanted to show you guys this tree. We are not anchored, we're just drifting past this tree, but we could anchor up current of this tree if we wanted to. I have my chum out, so the idea is that the current takes the chum back towards the tree, and you can see all the mangroves that are here. So there they are crazy. They love to hang out in the chum. They love this tree, and they love anything like this tree. And you can see there are some keepers up in the school already. Usually the little guys are the least shy, and as you chum more and more, the big guys will come on. One thing to remember when targeting mangrove snappers is that if you're fishing in state waters, which we are right now, they need to be 10 inches to keep them, and you can keep 5. Now, if we were in federal waters, they need to be 12 inches and we can keep 10. So you just have to remember what waters you're in, depends on the size and how many you can keep towards your snapper aggregate. Guys, we hope you enjoyed watching us catch this snapper family grand slam. I had a lot of fun. It actually was easier than the small fry slam. I was surprised. I thought the small fry slam would be easy and this would be the tough one, but we were pleasantly surprised. Had an absolute great day. I will put all the details in my description box for the FWC Catch a Florida Memory Program, and get your fishing license. GoOutdoorsFlorida.com. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. We want you to get out there, have fun, and stay safe.